and shared the experience about the legal functioning and the courts within the United Kingdom comparing to the law functioning in India. That was in 2010. See, this was the discussion with the Belgian legal system that was on August 18th, 2010. And finally, after providing the information on the Indian law and the European legal system, I continued my research study on my own, and of course I have been in touch like with your board or with the UK board, or maybe a lot of times with the Belgian legal system and Cour de Custom in France. Now we start with your Swiss federal.
Very well.
Right? This is the last name. So this here was the last when I presented my book to you. And this is the letter which you issued on 12th of August over the book. This is the library, if I'm not wrong. The outer building. There's the outer building. There's the courts. The commons, either it is within Europe or within India. So I have pushed up into the venture of the book, and it is my sole prerogative today to present my book to the Federal Court in Switzerland, and few of the books to be placed in your library so that it can be a contribution to the readers, and maybe it is your prerogative to pass on to the other courts, because the chapter I have used a very particular and a plain English edition, so that and I have tried to sum up into some meaningful words, so that at least whosoever reads does not has to go back and see. And I have also placed a pictorial vision, so that whosoever reads the book, he should know this, how this author was able to do this research work, and how he could place certain, like you were kind enough to provide me on my email over my request during my study period on the research of the Swiss laws, like over the paths of the Swiss Federal Court. So those I have mentioned because it was a hard task to sum up, to squeeze in and make but I have tried that not even a single word has been placed left or right. So finally, I'm thankful to you, Mr. Abdul, for inviting me today to the Federal Swiss Court again, and grateful to the President for accepting me again and considering my work worth, so that I have been invited from India today to Switzerland for the launch of my book. Okay, you have to open it.
You have to open it? Yeah. Okay, thank you. But I have
This is finally like the European system. This is the European legal system. And I think I should be very clear. Like, thankfulness. Yeah. Mr. Bernagler, President is an engineer. And this is see, and I present the book to the readers and hope it will receive the appreciation of the discerning eye. This is technically, and this is your partly. Here we start. So here we start with your letter for my being invited today here for the book launch.
Yes.
And this is the previous correspondence and our discussion we had last.
Okay, last time.
Yeah, and one of the emails which you have sent me over on behalf of the President of the Supreme Court of Switzerland.
Yes.
And this is the organizational setup, right, which you had forwarded me on the email during these I have mentioned the organizations. Then I have touched the chapter on the General Secretariat and the services which you provide. and even made an attempt over certain acts and laws like drunk driving, same-sex marriage, and legal equality in taxation, then the motor vehicle disability modification. Then comes your federal level, what are the levels of the code. And this was a book which you gave to me that had the features and the contents of the federal Supreme Court, if you remember.
Yes, I remember.
So they placed it. And what is the cantonment level, then the appeal matters, then a few glimpses of pictures of overall meetings here. Then this is the parts of the Swiss Federal Code, which I think I received in March from your office, right? And this was a colored picture, but it could not be printed, and it was not gelling well, because this is a book, so it needs to be very elegant. So we got it made into black and white. And because these were some colors which had a significance of your court.
Yes.
And then the justice at the federal level.
It will be my pleasure to read this book and to inform you, to discuss with you of our remarks to your text. Thank you very much.
It will be my pleasure that you can say a few words about the book.
You paid all the books alone, or did you have support from an institution in India? What was the publication?
So basically it's my own creative brainchild, but at the last you can read. Just read this line.
I've never spoken of it.
So I have acknowledged whosoever supported to me.
Okay.
And that's very important.
Yes, it is.
So I'll request you to say a few words because then they will make more.
Yes. And did you find a lot of difference between the Swiss system and the other European systems, or you can speak from the European legal system?
Well, from the European legal system, what I basically found is that the functioning of the courts, that the part of the appeals, they are quite similar. Particularly like in your this Swiss laws. Like you mentioned, there's a division like the public law division, the civil law division, the criminal division, the social law division. So this aspects in the form of appeals and rulings I found in the United Kingdom. That is there. So I could easily make out that what you explained to me during my previous visit in 2010, you get a Bachelor of Laws degree, the law degree from any recognized university.
Bachelor degree.
Yeah, that is called LLB. LLB. Then you are entitled to submit it for enrollment as an advocate under the Advocates Act.
So you have to work by an advocate?
Yes, then the Bar Council of that particular state, they issue you a license to practice. And you are enrolled from that day as an advocate.
But you have to give exam to practice, or with the degree you can
with the relevant degree you can practice. There is no such provision till day in our country that a lawyer needs to give a test to attain a license.
And how it is with the recognition of the activities? European lawman with a bachelor degree could work as a lawyer in India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just needs to intimate the concerned country and see whether he is entitled to practice in that law, on that land. See, like there's a Supreme Court, like you have the Swiss Federal Supreme Court. You have a category of lawyers who must be appearing here. Like you mentioned to me.
All lawyers in Switzerland could
appear. So
to us.
Do you have any category, the advocates on record? Who the advocate on record, who he's eligible to file the appeal or the petition in the Supreme Court?
No, es ist so, erst the advocate, they must have a master degree.
It's the law and the jurisprudence which takes. Then we have the Constitution of India was laid on the 28th of January 1950. Like the Supreme Court is the highest appellate court in India. And there are three categories of advocates who are entitled to practice before law in the Supreme Court. One are the senior advocates. And then advocates on record. As you mentioned here, everybody can appear. So this is the
senior advocates, they can.
Yeah. And the third category is of the other advocates.
To file any matter document for the Supreme Court. Okay.
Right? And the State Bar Council maintained under the Advocates Act 1967. Then what are the jurisdictions of the Supreme Court within India?
But what you mean with
the camera like this?
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Sandhu. We are pleased to give to you our certificate that attests your visit of today and the release of your book at the Federal Supreme Court.
Thank you very much. So this is the concluding of my visit at the Federal Supreme Court in Lausanne in Switzerland. Finally, my book, Indo-European Legal System, a Comparative Study, has been released today in this prestigious Federal Supreme Court Tribunal Federal at Lausanne. And today it's a matter of great achievement in my career that being an Indian, I could made it a success in authoring a book on the Swiss laws comparing to India, which has been released today in this Federal Supreme Court building. I'm grateful to Almighty, grateful to my family, my friends, my relatives, and all those who supported me in this monumental venture. And above all, to the President and the Deputy Secretary General and the judges of the Federal Supreme Court in Lausanne here today. Bye-bye.